Hi everyone, it's Eddie here from Eddie Makes Art. I'd like to introduce you to the Hippie Crafter Mica Powders set. And these are a set of 24 vibrant pearlescent colors. And they come in these mini jars that are awesome. They store well. And I'm flipping a couple over so you can see the awesome colors I'm going to use. And I've gone ahead and swatched them out onto black cardstock so you can see how great the colors really are. And then I swatched out the darker powders onto a piece of watercolor paper so you can see them a little bit better. I'm going to take these powders and test them out with different tools and methods to show you how they work and maybe how they don't. And as a bonus to you, Hippie Crafter is offering my subscribers a 10% discount on their first purchase at hippiecrafter.com. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to test out the smudge factor of these. And what I'm doing is I'm going to use just water to mix the first row of color and apply those to white mixed media paper and black cardstock. And then I'll let that dry, and then I'll use what's called gum arabic. It's a binding powder that's used mostly in watercolor, but in other sorts of media. And I thought that that would be a great way to maybe help bind it and cause it not to smudge. So let's see how that goes. And I'm using the gum arabic in almost a 1-to-1 ratio here, maybe a little bit more on the pigment than on the gum arabic. The addition of the Arabic gum to the mica powder and water mixture tends to make it a little bit more creamy, smoother, and just glides onto the paper a lot better. Now that they're dry, let's test it to see if they smudge. This is the one with just water and mica powder, and see, it does smudge. Let's see if it happens on the cardstock. Yep, it does smudge. Let's see what happens when we smudge the mica with the gum arabic. Nope, no smudging. Very little comes off on my finger, like very, very little. Same with the black cardstock. I guess gum arabic is the trick to keep your mica powders from smudging. Next, I'll use embossing ink with one of my newest foam stamps available at pmartiststudio.com, and I'm going to take a brush and brush on the mica powders onto the stamped image. Brushing off the excess powder here and then using a little microfiber cloth to take off the rest of that. I'm going to do the same image again using the embossing ink again and just using more vibrant colors. think using the embossing ink with stamps works really well with mica powders. It holds up nicely. Now these mica powders mixed with the gum arabic to make paint, like a watercolor, is really good on mixed media tags. So I'm just stamping an image using one of my foam stamps and black archival ink onto the tag, and then just gonna paint around it and just, you know, have a little fun with it. Be sure to mix your powders and water well so you don't get any lumps and you get a nice smooth paint. Here's another stamp tag, but this time I'm going to use my paints and splatter them onto the tag. Remember, this mica powder is mixed with gum arabic, so these splatters are going to stay on your mixed media card and look really, really cool. Here I'm using some of that same mixture to paint on some black cardstock. Just wanted you to see how creamy and vibrant this mixture is on your paper. It gives just wonderful results, and then splattering on top, it just adds another level of yumminess. For this next one, I'm mixing up some more paint with gum arabic and the mica powders, and I'm going to paint it onto some watercolor paper and then cover it in plastic wrap and try to get that kind of grungy, textury looking business. Before I start, I'm wetting the back side of the paper and then the front side. That way it won't warp. So I guess I'm sort of doing a wet on wet technique, but it's not a lot of water. after I cover it in plastic and kind of scrunch it up, I let it dry. This probably dried for a few hours. I didn't use the heat gun or anything on it. I just wanted to get natural. But I got a really good result. Like you can see as I wiggle it around, you can see all the really cool designs on there. Now that plastic still has some of that mica mixture on it. So what I did is I just took some water, sprayed it on there, and then put the plastic back onto another piece of watercolor paper and then let that sit overnight actually. I didn't photograph that one, but it turned out pretty good. It was a lot lighter, but it turned out pretty good. Here I'm going to use some white matte photo paper, and that's a 4x6 on the gel plate with water on the bottom and then on the top to keep it flat, and then I'll add a little extra water too, because right now I'm going to use my stamp and some distress oxide and make a print onto the paper a few times and then take off the oxidized part, I guess, and it just leaves the permanent ink behind on the paper. This is a technique that I saw Louise Heinzel do on her channel. Another great way to use your mica powders is to mix them in with some acrylic medium. Here I'm using the Liquitex acrylic medium in a matte finish, and I'm mixing in this really awesome red mica powder from Hippie Crafter and just making a nice intense color. And definitely you can adjust the lightness of the color by how much powder you put in or how much medium you add. So just kind of play around with it and find what you like. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this mixture and I'm going to pass it through a stencil onto some white mixed media paper, and that's going to give me some cool texture and texture that's colored. So it's like a texture paste but with color. These stencil strips that I'm using are available at pmartiststudio.com. Finally, I wanted to show you how awesome this white mica powder is, and on a black mixed media paper, and also the fuchsia color and this bright blue. They're just like probably three of my favorite colors in this set right now. And I'm doing these on mixed media paper, so they're going to hold up well. And I'm using also the gum arabic in the mixture, so you know they'll hold up very well. I'm painting 4 different designs on 4 different pieces of the paper, so you can see how well they behave in different ways. And here, yeah, I'm going to use it through a stencil. It's a little messy, but I think it gives you a really cool effect. Thanks for joining me today in exploring my new mica powders from Hippie Crafter. They're available at hippiecrafter.com. All links and info is available in the description below the video. Thanks again, and please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Have a great one.